12-volt battery on the unit. It is a new battery. We have two 20-pound propane cylinders that are full except for what we use to service the trailer. The arrow on the regulator is pointed towards that one over there. So when you're working off of that one, as soon as it would happen to go empty, it's going to turn red inside the eye, indicating that the bottle it's pointed to is empty. Then all you have to do is switch it over to this side over here, work off of this while you take that one to town and have it refilled. So I'm going to flip it back over to the side we was working on. We have a light switch for hooking up at nighttime. We have an up and down button for taking it on and off the vehicle. But there is a manual way that you can come through the top and manually crank that jack up or down. For any reason it won't work on its own, there is a manual handle that will come in, crank that jack up or down. On the bottle rack cover, there's two tabs underneath that you can put a bungee cord underneath the metal rack to hold it in place. But it also has the quick disconnect at the top so that you don't have to take the bottle cover off every time that you want to turn the propane on or off. And then it just slides right back over the top of that. As we start down this side over here, your very first compartment is your through compartment. The black cap sitting just inside of it is for the freshwater drain underneath the unit. The freshwater tank will fill up here at the top and it will drain underneath. It has the 4 BL jacks on all 4 corners. There is a manual crank handle on the front compartment that will manually crank those up or down. Lug nuts on the trailer has been torqued at 100 foot-pounds. That's what's recommended on the side. Tires are air pressure, which is 50 pounds on the side of those cold. Does have an outside shower. Gives you hot and cold running water out here. Does have a new shower hose on it and a head. I'm going to key out and open that up. But it gives you hot and cold running water on this side of the unit over here. It's good for cleaning fish, cleaning pets off. Then you have your black tank flush that you can hook to with the water hose and regulator while you're dumping your termination valves. You got your black valve open, all the nasties come out that'll come out. Hook a water hose and regulator to that, turn water pressure onto it. It's got a little aerator on the inside that spins around. Helps clean more of the toilet paper and debris out of the inside of it. The connection right back to that is your city water connect, so that if you don't want to fill the freshwater tank on the unit, you can hook a water hose and regulator to it. When you turn water pressure onto it, you'll have water pressure going to the faucets on the inside. Then you have your park cable hookup and satellite. Then you have your 30 amp power cord, goes on, makes a quarter of a turn, tighten up the black knob. It's about 25 foot long. Your termination valves are right down below that. The 3-inch valve in the back is your black water tank, which is your toilet water. The 2-inch gray valve in the front will be your kitchen sink, bathroom sink, and your shower water. We also have our 2 low water drain points here in the back that'll be used for winterizing and dewinterizing of the unit. And in between long trips, you can open them up and let all the water come out so that it doesn't be stale inside the unit. Back of the refrigerators next. The refrigerator works 3 ways. 12 volt, 110 and propane. It does not cool down on the 12 volt side. The 12 volt side is for any time it would lose 110 power coming to it. The 12 volt kicks in and automatically turns it over to gas and lights it. Does not cool down on 12 volt, just switches it from electric over to gas. Then you have your hot water heater here, right down below that. And it works electric and gas. Both switches are on the monitor panel on the inside, but you want to make sure that you have water coming out of it before you turn it on electric or gas. You want to make sure that it's full. Also has a drain plug down here at the bottom, 13/16. Takes that plug in and out. That's where you'll drain the hot water heater in between trips and for winterizing purposes too. So we're going to lock it back up. It does have a ladder on the back for going up and checking the roof. It's my theory, but the roof is the life expectancy of the trailer. Anything happens to the roof up on top, it'll start showing on the 4 corners inside or out. It's good to look at it every 90 days. You don't have to seal it every 90 days, but the quicker you can find a problem up on top and fix it, the better off you are. We're gonna come right around past that. We're gonna pass right by the door. Does have 2 outside speakers. I have to show you more about that on the stereo on the inside. It does have a stove vent flapper that if you wanted to bring smoke from the inside of the trailer to the outside, take the 2 flaps, lift them up. When you're in travel, you'll want to push those back down and lock them into place. Does have an outside grill. Does not have the canisters with it. Pulls out, canister slides on right here. Coleman green tank. Then you have an outside grill. Does have a 110 outlet on the outside of the unit underneath the canopy. And a park cable hookup that you can put a TV out here and watch the ball game underneath the canopy. 110 plug-in to plug it into. Then your outside of your furnace is next. It's already got the mud diver screen over the outside of it to keep mud divers from going in it, which is great. We also have a 12-volt or solar panel hookup here by the front compartment that if you wanted to buy the solar panel that sits out beside the trailer, it will recharge the battery on the front of the unit. Here's your manual crank handle for the 4 BLs on all corners. It is also the handle that comes in the top of the tongue jack to manually crank it up and down. 2 light switches on the inside. One turns your LED lights on the front of the cap. The other one turns the LED light on in your front compartment. Does have the 2 sets of LED lights on the cap of it for lighting it up at nighttime. Makes it look a little more decorative. We're going to go back to the front door. We're going to open it up all the way back. Now your steps are going to be folded up, slid in underneath there. Warn you about the steps. You don't want your hand in the center of it when you pull the step out. We'll catch it. You want to come off to the side to pull the step out and lock it into place. Also has a working fire extinguisher on the left-hand side as we come in. We're going to go back to the monitor panel. We'll start with it first. To check the battery life, you push the battery button, shows you how much charge is in the battery. To get an accurate reading on that, you need to have the 110 line unplugged. Then push the battery button. Freshwater tank showing you that it's empty. Black tank showing that it's empty. Gray tank 1 showing that it's empty and does not have the option of the gray tank 2. When we come down right below it, the first blue switch on the left-hand side is the electric side of the hot water heater. And we do know we got water in it, so we'll go ahead and turn it on. It illuminates the switch when it is in the electric position. Same way with your gas switch right beside it. You're going to turn it on. It illuminates. And there you go, you can hear the hot water heater lit. The third blue switch is the water pump switch between the freshwater tank and the faucets. Then you have your entry light, which is your amber porch light right by the front door. Your living room lights, which is the 4 lights in the center of the coach. And then you have your awning extend button, which we can extend it out. I don't think we can get it all the way out because of the trailer next door, but we're going to take it out as far as we can. You don't want to hit Craig and Patty's trailer. But it also has 2 switches underneath the cabinet. One turns the lights on in the cabinet in the slide room. The other one will turn the LED lights on underneath the awning. Little push button in the center of the one for the sink. Microwave, pretty well basic microwave. It does have a clock button that you can set the clock button. Let's say it's 9:30. Hit the clock button again to the 2 center eyes is flashing. The reason I set the time on the microwave is I can tell if the trailer's lost 110 power coming to it if it doesn't have the proper time. Here again we have a 110 switch, electrical outlet to the left side of the stove, and we have one to the right side of the stove up underneath the cabinet. We're going to turn the illumination lights on our gas knobs. We're going to turn it to where it says pilot on. It lights all 3 burners up on the stove. We're going to click them back off. Does the same thing with the oven. When you turn it to pilot on, you have to hold the button down using the striker on the left-hand side to get the pilot to light. Let it run for about a minute. Then you can dial it up to the temperature you want it set to. And you'll also have a light down in the oven. We're going to turn the illumination lights off on that. We do have 2 sets of keys in the drawer. The purple key does the lock and deadbolt on the front door. The other one does your 2 outside compartments and your outside shower. 2 little more remotes. The littlest one does the stereo. Turns the stereo on and off. On that stereo, you have zones 1 and 2. Is your speakers, inside and out. Turns 2 off is inside. We're going to turn 2 back on and turn 1 off. 1 is your outside speakers. It also has a USB port on the front of the stereo. It does have a hookup for a set of headphones, so that if you didn't want to listen to the stereo and somebody else wanted to, they could listen to it. Also has a TV that works with the booster to the left side of the TV and the antenna up on top.
Very nice to meet you.
And that TV station's about 80 miles away from here, and that's not too bad of a picture for the TV. It'll also pull out, tilt back so you can do it while you're washing dishes, or it'll tilt the other way so that you can watch it while you're in bed. And then it should click back into place. Right down below that, there is another 110 outlet and a set of USB ports for charging cell phones. We have a 110 outlet on either side of the bed and a USB port on either side of the bed. The lights above the headboard have to be turned on by hand, little blue lights, and they swivel. Does have the table, dinette tables underneath the bed in the big compartment. Does have quite a bit of storage. We got a fire escape window. The white handle on that pulls the screen loose. Red handle opens up, slides all the way through the bottom of the window frame for access if there's any reason that you couldn't get to the front door. Couch will butterfly into a bed, but the switch for the slide room's on the left-hand side of it. The light above the couch has to be turned on by hand. Has a little push button in it. Does have a slider window that is big enough to be considered a fire escape window if you needed to use it for that. Also has a 110 outlet to the right side of the couch. And then that's where your LP detector is. We're going to come up to the thermostat for the furnace. It has an on and off switch at the bottom. No, the on and off switch is at the top. The dial for your temperature is at the bottom. On your air conditioner, you want to run it wide open. The blue side's the cold. The brown side's the fan. It does not have the heat option strip in it. The heat option strip's optional if you wanted to add it to the unit. We're going to go off into the bathroom area. The bathroom area has a switch on the right hand side as we come in. We also have a single foot flush on the toilet. Push halfway down, it fills with water. Push all the way down, it fills and dumps. We do have a fan in the ceiling that we can crank up with the knurled black knob. Turn the black switch on for pulling moisture out of the bathroom area. Crank that back down. We also have our GFCI outlet in the bathroom by the sink. We have a 2-drawer medicine cabinet, 3-drawer medicine cabinet up above it. And we do have a little storage down below. And in behind the panel is access for your water connections for the black tank flush, city water connect, and your outside shower. If we take the 2 screws out of this panel over here, we'll access you into the back of the hot water heater. On the hot water heater, it has 2 brass valves. Both of them are pointed towards the tank, letting cold air water go into the bottom. hot water come out the top. When you get ready to winterize, they get turned sideways, which actually makes it make a loop behind the hot water heater so that you don't have to fill it with antifreeze while you're doing your winterization. We'll come to the bottom of this cabinet. There is 2 screws in the hidden panel down here that comes out. Panel slides over and slides out that way, accesses you into the back of the water pump. The water pump has 2 black valves on it. One goes to the freshwater tank, and then one goes to a hose with the end on it that you stick down in your antifreeze jug to use the pump in the unit to suck antifreeze through the pump and the filter and through all the faucets in the unit. That's basically about, well, there's one more thing I forgot to show you. There is some paperwork on the trailer that's in this cabinet over here that was left from the other customers. It's the toilet paper holder, a towel ring, and then all the paperwork that was left in the unit. But that's basically everything on your unit. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them the best that I can. Thank you for your time.